The Rio Mamoré in Bolivia is one of the main tributaries that form the Rio Madeira, together with the Guapore, Beni, and Madre de Dios. In northern Bolivia, the Mamoré meanders through the flat lowlands, constantly changing course as silt and sand get deposited in the bends of the river. At times, river bends end up cut off, forming oxbow lakes that can turn into permanent, sickle-shaped bodies of water. But permanent and temporary lagoons formed by flood events are also common here. These shallow, gigantic lagoons, with their margins densely overgrown by reeds and plants, are ideal habitats for many fish. Today, I want to have a look at the fish community in a lagoon north of the city of Trinidad, with exceptionally clear water. The surrounding landscape is not as much gallery forest, but consists of marshes, patches of low forest, and palms. Below the surface, the lagoon is a chaotic tangle of roots, reeds, and plants. There are few rocks here, and the fine substrate is covered with a soft layer of decaying plants, bacterial mass, and fine particles. A bit of wind and the waves quickly disturb the bottom and reduce this visibility. Midwater is home to schools of Moenkhausia, the most common fish here. Both Moenkhausia ceros and Moenkhausia lepidura occur here together, always within proximity of the wall of plants, allowing them to disappear in the safety of the dense tangles if a predator approaches. Cichlids are plentiful here, and especially the flag cichlids, Mesonauta festivus, thrive in this environment. The horizontal black line and extended white pectoral fins act as a camouflage against the geometric straight lines of the reeds along the surface. With the absence of wood and rock structures, fronds of the palm trees and their bracts, with the fruit already picked off by birds before they fall in the water, provide structure along the bottom that is used by many fish as shelter and a place to breed for the cichlids. Substrate spawning cichlids have few options here. Palm fronds are among the few solid surfaces and also act as an ideal nursery. The pairs tend to the babies closely and always keep them near the more complex substrates. Once waterlogged, the bracts become heavy, and they can protect the fry against a wide variety of predators, such as pike cichlids, barracuda, piranhas, wolffish, and a huge number of nocturnal predators such as catfish and knifefish. These young will leave the parents at around 3 centimeters or 1 inch, and then remain in small groups of 4 to 10 equal-sized young that feed near the surface. The lagoon's shoreline is hard to reach. Plants and reeds are simply too thick to get close to the shore, except in tunnel-like passages created by large caiman. Shallow water reveals a similar habitat with increasingly smaller fish of the same species. Apistogramma look out of place in such a large habitat, but the tiny dwarf cichlids are plentiful here. Male Apistogramma erythrura often preside over a territory of a single palm leaf and defend it against neighboring males. Within their territory, up to 6 females will occupy potential breeding sites. The males are easy to spot with their bright red caudal fins, while the females are more cryptic, their non-breeding color blending perfectly with the substrate. To find breeding females, one has to turn the palm fronds, revealing bright yellow females guarding eggs or young. Spurius, the spotted severum cichlid, endemic to this part of the Beni department, is also common here. Their larger adults venture out into deeper and more open water during the day to feed on the substrate. Satanoperca pappaterra are made for this habitat, sifting the fine substrate for worms, insect larvae, and other microinvertebrates. Individuals of varied sizes can be seen everywhere in the lagoon, with larger individuals displaying a bright gold color. Groups of Moenkhausia intermedia are very common here, and these and other small tetras are the preferred prey of a unique predator, stalking the tetras from deep within the thicket of plants. Scale-eating piranhas have adapted to feed on the scales of their prey, with not easily digestible scales neatly lining up in their intestine like a can of Pringles chips. Unsuspecting prey is attacked from below, with the protruding lower jaw of the piranha scraping off scales from behind. After the attack, the piranha gather up the scales sinking in the water column. Steindackneria and Moenkhausia seem to be the primary target of these attacks, while cichlids are more aware of the presence of the Cataprion, often turning dark in color and angling their bodies to make the angle of attack more difficult for the piranha. Besides Cataprion, the lobetooth piranha, Pygopristis denticulatus, is also common here. This species is less specialized, feeding not only on smaller fish but also seeds and insect larvae. Near the surface, floating leaves and floating plants offer cover for the more surface-oriented fish. Gigantic schools of the penguin tetra occupy this space, well above the schools of Moenkhausia and seemingly out of reach of their predators. Slower moving pencilfish and green bloodfin tetra are also seen in this uppermost layer, feeding on the algae and microinvertebrates on the underside of the floating leaves. Their predator, a freshwater needlefish that hunts small fish and insect larvae along the surface. In deeper water, the lagoon becomes more uniform. Large stingrays occupy this area, and during the day few fish are seen in deeper open water. Cichla pleiozona, the peacock bass endemic to this region, are plentiful in deeper water. Like all cichlids, palm fronds are their only suitable nesting site. Their potential predators are few. Only the caiman and small group of freshwater dolphins in the lagoon would eat cichlids of this size. But at night, the lagoon is teeming with life. Giant-sized red-tailed catfish and tiger shovelnose catfish then stalk the fish community in the dark. I hope you enjoyed our brief look at the Rio Mamoré Lagoon. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and share this video on social media. If you like the way we present fish habitats, come to belowwater.com to buy the new book about the Rio Xingu or the older book about habitats in the Amazon.